ready with me on my floor while I talk about one of the most traumatic experiences that I've ever been through as a lesbian. And that is my experience talking to men on Tinder. Honestly ashamed and embarrassed of myself as a gold star lesbian. I'd like to preface this whole story by saying that I recently was divorced from a female, and I have never been with a boy, man, ever before. Divorce was like very sudden and traumatic for me. I was blindsided with a little phone call. So I downloaded the dating apps on what would have been my 5-year anniversary with my ex-wife. So I was crashing out a little bit. Not like I'm trying to justify my crazy actions or anything like that, but I just wanted to tell that part of the story. It was late at night. I was crashing out. I was like, okay, let's download Tinder. I needed someone to talk to. I couldn't fathom ever being with a female ever again, so I was like, maybe I need to switch to the other side. I don't know. It was late at night. I'm doing what you do on Tinder. Haven't been on there in 5-6 years, and I'm swiping along, men only. And mind you, I have the age set to like 50. I'm not marrying for love anymore. I'm gonna marry for money, really good companionship. I don't know, something other than love. So I match with this guy who is like 36, 37 years old. He lives near me, and his profile looked pretty normal. Mind you, I am not someone who's ever like been attracted to men, if that makes sense. Like, I can say that a guy is attractive, a girl is attractive, but like I have never really felt like an attraction to where I want to like be with a guy, if that makes sense. Like I said before, she was crashing out, she was trying something new. I don't really know. Nonetheless, he seemed fairly normal. So I matched with him, and he immediately messaged me and was like, hey, winky face. And I was just like, all right, here we go, whatever. Well, he ended up seeming normal, like when we were talking on Tinder, and then he was like, let me get your snap. Now, did I think it was really sketchy that he was almost 40 years old and was just wanting to Snapchat me? 1000%. Did I give a fuck at the time? Absolutely not. So I'm like, whatever. We start Snapchatting. It's like late at night. I'm not dumb. I know what men want. He wasn't being like that towards me at all. Like, hey, maybe I hit the jackpot right off the bat. I got a normal guy. I did not, but it seemed normal at first. So I actually tell him pretty early on about me being married to a girl, the lesbian thing, the recently divorced thing, the whole nine. He was actually very respectful about it. Didn't seem like he cared. No shit. And so I was like, okay, like, let's just keep talking. He was very respectful. Let's see where it goes. There was a couple times that he had like mentioned hanging out, and like I really couldn't. And then there was a couple times that I got the balls to be like, okay, like maybe, you know, if you want to hang out. And those few times that I mentioned it, he made it seem like he was going to, and then like the day of, he would just like ghost me. Like, I wouldn't hear from him literally at all the entire day, and then eventually he would message me like that night or the day after and act like we didn't have plans. Like, literally none of that ever happened. Eventually the conversation with him just kind of got really like bland and boring. Like, he wouldn't really like ask about me at all. I felt like I was the one having to keep the conversation going, and I was just kind of like, I didn't really care about it all that much. So I just kind of stopped talking to him. I mean, I didn't have anything to lose. Until one day he Snapchats me after not talking for like a whole week straight, and he is like really upset. I don't remember like exactly what he said, but the gist of it was that it was his birthday. He was turning like 37. He hung out with his family, and he was really upset because he was getting older and he wasn't married, and like his brother had kids, and he was just like really down in the dumps. Like, he just kept telling me he was really, really down in the dumps. And then he started getting like a little aggressive with me. Like, he started getting really mad because he said I ghosted him and like all this stuff. And I was like, look, like, you weren't really that fun to talk to. I don't really know what I want. It just kind of seemed like a one-way relationship. And like, mind you, like, I didn't care all that much about talking to a guy like in the first place. So that's why I wasn't like distraught that he was like being this type of way. I was just like, whatever. He had like gotten mad, and then he flipped it and was like, I'm not good enough for you. I'm old and washed up. You're young and have your whole life ahead of you. I'm nothing. And then he was like, I should just off myself, basically, is like what he said. Not me, but like he was talking about doing it to himself. Now, mind you, this man is a physician's assistant near me. Like, I know the company that he works for. I looked him up and everything. It's legit. So if a physician assistant that's almost 40 is telling me that he wants to do that to himself, I'm gonna take it seriously. Not that I wouldn't take it seriously regardless, but like, to me, at first, it just kind of seemed like a cry for help. It's late at night. This man starts telling me like how he wants to do it and how his life is meaningless and all this stuff. And I am like literally freaking out. I don't know where he lives. I'm trying to call him on Snapchat. I don't know what to do. I'm like, do I call 911? I'm like trying to reach out to people I know. I'm like, do I like take him seriously? Like, why is he saying all this crazy stuff to me? Well, I know why. I know why. So he eventually stops answering me. He starts ignoring me. Like, he was reading my messages because on Snapchat you can see when someone opens it. At first he was, and then for like a half an hour, he was not even opening it. I was freaking out. Eventually, he answers the phone and he's like, haha, just kidding. And I'm like, what do you mean, just kidding? And he's like, yeah, I actually, like, I am depressed, but like, I'm not gonna do any of that. Okay, so at this point, I'm like distraught and confused because I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, why is this man talking to me like this? Why did he just tell me all this? I'm like trying to get answers from him because he's still telling me he's really depressed, but he doesn't want to do that to himself. I don't freaking know. So then he's like, I know like what's gonna make me feel better. And I'm like, what's gonna make you feel better? And he's like, if you send me some pics. And at this point, I'm like so annoyed. I'm like, okay, are you actually like, do you actually have problems, or was this all just like fake and you were just trying to make me feel bad to try to get you to send like pictures? And he's like, no, like I swear, like I actually have these problems. And I'm like, okay, you need to go to therapy. You need to like check yourself in somewhere. You need to get on some meds if you really feel that way, and then not use that as a way to get a female to send pictures of herself to you. So then we go back and forth for a while, and I'm like, you need to go to therapy, you need to get help. And he's like, yeah, sorry, I'm not doing literally any of that. And I'm like, okay, whatever, like this was insane. I'm still just like flabbergasted by the whole thing. And then he's like, so are you gonna send pics or not? Because like I'm depressed and I know that would make me feel better. No, motherfucker, I'm not sending you any pics, you're psycho. Eventually, I ended up blocking him, deleting him, blocking him, because I was just like, this is insane. I didn't do it at first because I was like actually concerned that he was still a little loco, but after a while I was like, yeah, okay, like he was just playing me. Like for part 2, because I have many more Tinder horror stories of my experience as a lesbian talking to men.
Hey people, I'm just in my car. I got some Starbucks. I'm in between clients right now on a little break, and I wanted to make a little story time of my insane babysitting experience from this past weekend. So, to preface, the mom that asked me to babysit, I treat her son. I'm a speech therapist, or an SLPA, whatever. SLP to be, if you will. So this mom that I treat her son, she texted me and was like, hey, we're having a family party this weekend. The girl who normally babysits is not available, and I really don't want to like rely on a stranger. Is this something that you would be interested in? Or is this something that you do? And I was like, hi, yeah, like I don't mind. What are the hours that you're looking for? She said from 2 p.m. until 10 p.m. And I was like, that's kind of steep. I can't do that full time. I can't commit to that full time because unfortunately I have finals, but am willing to help you out. I can come from, let's say like 3, because also I was working at my other clinic that Saturday morning too. So I was already gonna be working all day and I needed a break in between. So I was like, I can come at 3 and stay until 7. I'll like meet you halfway. I'll do half the time. And then she was like, please, like, please stay. Like, is there any way you can stay longer? Like, da-da-da. So I was like, okay, fine. Like, I'll come at 2 and I'll stay until 8. Deal? And she was like, deal. Sounds good. Whatever. So the mom who asked me originally, she has 3 kids, one of which who I treat, and then 2 little children. Like, both of them are in between the ages of 2 and 4. Like, cannot be older than those ages. And she said it was a family party. So I assumed the family that I'm babysitting for, right? I also treat his cousin, like the cousin. So these 2 little boys who are cousins, and I treat the both of them. So when she said it was a family party, I kind of assumed that this other family was going to be here, and they have 2 kids. So I kind of assumed that it was going to be 5 of them, which I was like, okay, whatever, it's fine. And I also was anticipating the other parent to pay me, but whatever, because she came in and she was like, whenever I was there, she's like, we're going to take care of you. And I was like, okay. Anyway, so I get there, and the mom wanted me to keep all of the kids in this one tiny little bedroom for the whole time. They couldn't leave. They couldn't go outside. Like, all these kids wanted to do was run around outside. And I don't know about your family parties, but at my family parties growing up, the kids ran everywhere. And it's like, I understand wanting a babysitter, an extra set of eyes, an extra set of hands, because like the adults are drinking and whatnot. But like, this mom wanted me to keep them in this one tiny little room for the entire time, and all of the kids, 2 of which are autistic. So, and 2 of which are younger than 3 or 4, like little. To make matters even worse, as the time goes on, more and more parents start showing up and just dropping off their kids. Just like I'm running a daycare here. In one room, the mom would come in and say like, okay, play a game. Well, what kind of game do you want to play in like this tiny square room? I'm like so confused. I felt so bad for these kids, and the babies would cry because they want their mom, and they don't want to be in there. Like, what? Anyways, so time goes on. More and more parents are coming in, dropping their kids off. At one point, there was 9 children. 9 children, I kid you not. 9 children in one tiny little room. Granted, another family had brought their own like babysitter or whatever, but she was like kind of weird too. She like took her 2 little kids and went into the other bedroom and just like slammed the door. So I was then again alone with 7 children. 7 children in one room, 2 of whom are autistic. I'm like, oh my God. And it wasn't like, none of the kids are bad. None of the kids were bad. It wasn't any of the kids' fault. I'm like, what? These kids were in this one little room for 6+ hours. 6+ hours. And they could not leave. Unless they had to go to the bathroom, obviously. Oh my God, it's just beyond me. I was so frustrated. So then the other babysitter got there. They got another babysitter. The other babysitter got there, and whenever she came in, one of the moms was like, can you debrief? Oh, also I forgot to mention, so majority of the time, all the kids were in this one little room, but there was like the little boys' room and then the little girls' room was next door. But we really just spent the majority of the time there. At one point, I was in the little girls' room. We were like playing with slime or whatever. And this mom comes in. I don't even know if she was a mom. I don't know. She wasn't the mom that asked me to babysit. She wasn't the mom of the other kids. She's some random girl. She comes in. She's like, make sure you're going in there and checking on, him. Make sure you're going in there and checking on him. You might want to just like mesh the rooms. And was like kind of giving me a weird tone. And I looked dead at her and I was like, good luck with that. Like, you can come try. What? Like, no, he's fine. I know I'm fully capable of taking care of him. Like, it's fine. So that pissed me off. Anyways, so when the other babysitter came, she was like, can you just like debrief her on all the kids? And I was like, okay. The new babysitter wasn't under the impression that she was going to be watching all these kids at all. She thought it was just going to be the 2 that she has babysat for before. Like, this mom, I guess, has had her babysit before. She had no idea. So I was like, just telling her about the kids. And I was like, I have no idea what's going on here, but I will tell you that I will never be doing this again. Like, this is absolutely ridiculous. These kids cannot stay in this one tiny little room. What do you expect them to do? They're all different ages. Like, the oldest couldn't have been more than 8 years old. And the youngest was literally like a year and a half too. So, I mean, it was just beyond me not okay. I was not okay. It gave me a really yucky feeling in my stomach. Like, I didn't like it. So then I was like, all right, see ya. So then I walk out and I find the mom, like, whose house it was, who originally asked me to come and babysit. And I was like, hey, I'm just letting you know I'm leaving. I really wish you would. And I was really nice. I really wish you would have told me, like, what this was gonna be. I wasn't under the impression that it was gonna be, like, this much. And you could just tell, like, her face was like a deer in the headlight. And she was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And I'm like, I honestly feel like I was taken advantage of a little bit. There's 7 kids in there that I'm responsible for. She's like, well, you were only watching my 3. I'm like, no, when it's just me in a room and it's 7 children, I'm therefore responsible for every single one of them, diffusing any fights, making sure everybody's like okay, making sure everybody's like fed, getting along, all the things. If you've babysat before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And even if you haven't, it's pretty common sense. And she was just like, okay, like, I'm really sorry, I'm really sorry. And I was like, I definitely need to be compensated for the lack of communication and the amount of work that I just did. And she was like, okay, well, how much do you want? And I originally was charging her $25 an hour. And then I just rounded it up. Honestly, I should have charged her like $45 an hour to watch 7 kids, 5 kids, 7 kids, not like, seriously, for that long of a time in one tiny little room, like, oh my God, I can't. So anyways, I was like, I honestly feel like I need to be compensated $30 an hour. And she was like, okay, let me just get the cash really quick. Thank God. She just handed me cash and then was like, walked me to the door, was like, I'm so sorry. And I'm just like, it's fine. It gives me peace of mind knowing that I was there taking care of those kids. I felt so bad for them. They were crying like, we want to go outside, we want to go play, and why can't we go outside? And I'm like, I don't know, buddy. I really don't know. But best be sure I will never be doing that again. It was absolutely crazy. I don't know what kind of family party you were having there. Like, a woman came in and was like, oh, whose little girl is this? You're so cute. And I was like, the host's. This is the host's child. So some family party you have going on here. I don't know if there was... Clearly, what was going on was not appropriate for children, but... I survived. That's my story. That's my truth. Hope you enjoyed. Cheers.
We got scammed,
and this is how you can avoid it.
Okay. So basically, you guys probably know that there's like a big increase in sugar daddies.
Like, they're texting you on Snapchat and like they're trying to give you an allowance,
And they probably look legit.
but
People are not as they seem. The other day, Jasmine here was approached by someone on Snapchat who claimed to be a sugar daddy. And he had a very legit looking account, right? He had like a ton of pictures that appeared to be him.
His name was, I think, Hamster.
Something weird. That was probably the first red flag, actually.
But the thing is, we were gonna get our toes done, and we really needed
We actually
the
had,
funds.
didn't we already get our toes done at that point?
Well, we were doing our toes.
Yeah. The toes, by the way, costed me $150.
Yeah.
So
We needed.
yeah, so we were, for all 3 of us. So we were like wanting,
Yeah. Shout out Matthias for sending me $30.
and shout out Glam Nails for doing our toes. They did so good. Okay, so basically, I don't really know how exactly this happened, but Jasmine gave the sugar daddy her phone number.
He asked me what bank I go to. I told him. He asked my email. I told him. My full name. I told him. Like, you can.
And by the way, at this point, like, me and Ada didn't really know what was going on.
We didn't know she was doing all this.
So it gets to the point where he is telling her that he's gonna send her a large amount of money. So he sends the front and the back of a check to her email, and then me and Ada did some detective work, and like the address was not a real address.
No.
Like, we looked up the address and it said it was the name of like a construction business, but there was no such thing.
So I got my phone and I took a picture of the check, and it went
And
through.
it went through. I have the video. Wait, should I show that? This is us getting the check. At this point, I feel like me and Ada kind of knew it was a scam, but we honestly just wanted to see like what would happen, and we were honestly shocked when like the check went through.
Like, we just wanted to go shop.
Yeah. And then this was really sus. The guy started asking if we could send some back to charity.
Like, I'm not sending none of that to charity. card.
Yeah, and he was also saying that we'd have to do it through Apple Cash, and like that makes no sense, obviously.
And he was making me screenshot like every step he was telling me to do.
Yeah. So Jasmine put like $350 of it into the Apple Cash, and it cost like $6 to transfer it. And then me and Ada did more like research, and we found out that it's like a common scam to get sent a check, and then whoever sent it to you like asks for it back.
Okay, funny thing is, I only had $12 in my account. And so when I was transferring it to Apple Cash, it took $6, and then transferring it back, it took another $6. So really, it took my money.
So after me and Ada had figured that out, we got really nervous. And also we had realized that Jasmine, after she got all that money, she Venmo'd me $30 for our totes.
Yeah.
And so we got kind of worried that she had like spent some of the check money, because we were looking and it's like, if you like cash in a fraudulent check, then you have to pay back that amount. So I Venmo'd her back the money, and we were basically just like praying that everything was gonna be okay.
The sum of money was a lot.
And it was also, this is another thing that was a red flag, is it was a very weird amount. It was like $1,169 and like 9 cents or something, which is really sus.
But we were so happy, and my funds have been really low, so it was,
Yeah.
I thought it was Jesus.
She did. It also like held like a little bit more than half of it, so the bank could double check if it was fraud, but they unheld it, so the whole amount went into her account. So at this point it's also in her account, and that happened on like Wednesday. So we're kind of hoping that the money is real, and that this scammer was just dumb and used like actual funds when they're not supposed to use actual funds. They're supposed to use like funds that don't exist. So we're hoping that it might be real money to bless Jasmine in this difficult financial time.
Visit the Harriman swing.
But yeah, we just wanted to come out here and say, if a sugar daddy adds you on Snapchat, on WhatsApp, whatever, DMs you on Instagram, be careful, because it's probably a scam.
They will try to scare you.
They will.
Because after that, they were spam calling me when I wasn't answering. And then they pretended to send like an agent. Wait.
Oh my gosh, they sent a text, and it was like, this is Agent Hills from the FBI.
And he was mogging.
And then they sent a picture of a police officer, and his badge said like Grwn or something. Not their same name, and it also said the Chicago Police Department. So not the FBI either.
Yeah.
They lied. So this was all kind of a funny experience, actually. Me and Ada were dying like the entire time. We thought it was really funny. Jasmine was stressing.
I called my mom.
Oh, all in all,
I don't know. We just hope it's real and that it was a blessing, because it is Easter tomorrow.
yeah, but we're just letting you know, if the scammer is like
No
smart,
checks.
No checks.
Checks are all fake.
No checks. They're all fake. Most sugar daddies aren't real. Like, let's be so for real.
Only for Venmo. Only Venmo.
Yeah, Venmo. So that's our story time.
Our story time. Be careful, you guys.
Be so careful.
Bye.
I seem to like my crazy babysitting story time, so here's another one. This is another care.com family. The mom would message me either like very late the night before or early morning the day of and be like, our babysitter canceled and I desperately need someone. So I would just do it because I needed the income. It was this little boy that I was watching. He was like 2 years old for 8 hours, and they had a very small 1-floor story house. The mom also worked from home, but she had 2 cameras, one in the hallway and one pointing towards the living room. And I just kind of felt bad for the baby because, like I said, they had a smaller house and they always had every single door closed in the house. So, and I wasn't gonna like open any doors because they had the cameras everywhere. So I don't know where this kid slept. I know for a fact he did not have a crib or a bed or anything, but his changing table, all of his clothing and his toys, everything was just in the living room, dining room combined. And when it was time for his naps, I was told to just lay out like a mat. Oh, so it was almost like a dog bed. Put that on the floor, put a blanket on him, and use a couch pillow, and that's where he would sleep. It was actually kind of sad. I felt bad. There were a lot of weird rules and just, I don't know, odd things that were going on. So the very first thing that stuck out to me was the mom told me that I was not allowed to go to the bathroom
It was an 8-hour day. She said if I had to go to the bathroom, I could just text her and she'll come out and watch the baby for a minute, which I guess I get that. Like, if you don't want the kid running around the house or, like, potentially getting injured or something, whatever, or, like, putting something in its mouth. But I said, how about when the kid's sleeping? Am I allowed to go to the bathroom? And she said, no, please just always text me. I'm like, you also have 2 cameras that are pointing directly at the living room. The second weird thing was that the mom really didn't want me going on a walk. And I'm like, dude, I'm here for 8 hours cooped up in the house. We live in the South. Like, please let me take your kid on a walk. So eventually she let us go on a walk. They didn't even have a stroller. So I had to pull this wagon around the neighborhood. Gigantic wagon around the neighborhood. It's actually insane. Another weird thing is I was supposed to be there at 9 o'clock, and at like 8:58 one morning, she texted me and was like, hey, just wanting to confirm this morning. And I was pulling up on their street, so I didn't answer. So I park and I just go knock on the front door. They have this massive, like, no trespassing sign in the front yard and on the front door. The dad opens the door and he, like, peeks his eye out. Like, he opens the door just a little bit, peeks his eye out, and he's like, oh, phew, it's just you. If it wasn't you, I was gonna have to call the cops. Like, what? What, bro? Another thing that was pissing me off was the mom was so bad about paying me, and it was my very first time there. We agreed on her paying me on Venmo. She's like, I'll pay you now. So I was like, okay, sounds good, bye. So I leave, get in my car, and I had to go babysit another family. It's been like 2 hours at this point. She didn't pay me. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, what the hell? She owes me so much money. Eventually, she did pay me, and then this happened time and time again. I would go over and babysit, and she would wait like 2 days to pay me, and I would text and be like, hey, I know you're busy, like, when you get a chance you might pay me. It was just odd. I don't know, it was so odd.
Story time on how I found out I got cheated on for 3 months straight in a year-long relationship. I'm making this story time not only because it's a juicy story and this has never happened to me in my life and I never thought it would happen to me, but also I feel like as soon as I make a story time about somebody or like vocalize how somebody did me wrong, I could never go back. Like, there's no excuse for me to ever go back. I'm gonna start by saying this man really had me fooled. He met my family met his family. We babysat his siblings together and everything was very much locked in. We spent 2 Thanksgivings together, New Year's together, like, we were locked in. I'll just say there were like little red flags at the beginning. Like, I remember there would be times where he would walk like crazy ahead of me, like there was no type of like, oh, we're together. He wouldn't really compliment me that much unless it was like through text. Like, when we would see each other, there was no type of like really like excitement or like, oh my gosh, like, you're my girlfriend. And my excuse for that was like, oh, he's just quiet, he's just a little nonchalant. Like, no, never talk to a nonchalant man. We met at school, and then since it was a community college, he transferred out and ended up going to a 4-year school, and I was still at the community college. And basically I had this fear. I was like, oh my gosh, as soon as he goes to a 4-year, he's probably gonna cheat on me, or not even cheat on me, like, things will just be different. And I was right. Like, the first like month of him being there was okay, it was great, but then there would be times where he wouldn't call as much, or he would call really late. Last like 2 months of our relationship, I was feeling like, oh, he could be cheating right now. Like, he could be cheating and I wouldn't even know. I was telling my sister and my friends about it, and I was just like, oh, he could be cheating on me right now. That's like what I'd be thinking about sometimes. And they're like, oh, it's just the distance, he's a good guy, just talk to him about it, whatever. So Valentine's Day comes up, I talked to him about it, and I was like, sometimes I'd be feeling like you could be cheating on me. He was like, I'm like, oh, okay. He would never, right? And then after that conversation, I was just like telling him, just being a really good girlfriend, basically, just telling him like, oh, if you ever need me or whatever, I'm here. Like, we're in a relationship, I want to know what you're going through, I want to know what's going on in your head. And he was just like, yeah, like, I understand that. And then he sent me a big paragraph being like, it'll take me a minute, but I will get there, and like, I'm excited for our future, whatever, da 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 da. I basically posted a TikTok of me and him, because I was just like, we're locked in, we're back locked in, because before, he would never post me also. He would only ever post me when I posted him. And I asked him, I was like, oh, why did all your friends comment on the TikTok of us? And he was like, oh, because I was showing them all the TikToks of us, and I was telling them how you're a keeper or whatever. Last text before I found out this man was cheating on me was, I love you. And then my friend gets a request. She basically told her that her and my boyfriend have been sleeping with each other for the past 3 months. In my head, I'm shocked. So I call this girl, or she calls me, I don't remember, and she's showing me like a bunch of screenshots. I could put them all here. I was in shambles. She basically was saying that they've been doing the do for 3 months, and he actually messed with some other girl while he was talking / doing stuff with both of us. After I found that out, I see all the receipts, and I'm sick, obviously, because I'm like, oh, you met my family. I even find out that the girl that he was seeing, he saw her like 3 days before our 1-year anniversary and Valentine's Day. On top of that, he must have did stuff with that girl in the sheets that I bought him. And on top of that, the day that he had a girl in his dorm, I was making a collage for Valentine's Day of us. And this man was straight up telling her that he wasn't in a relationship, he just got out of one. And then I called him on it, put the screenshots. I called him on it and I was like, oh, you messed up, like you're cheating on me. And then he was like, I know what it looks like. And then he said all this BS about whatever he's going through and how he needed somebody to confide in. Oh, I don't know, maybe confide in your girlfriend. Maybe confide in the girl who knows your family, who knows what's happening in your life. I texted his parents and was like, I'm so thankful for everything that you guys done for me, and like I appreciate y'all. He was unfaithful, so it's not my choice. And they were basically just very sweet about it. After all of this was said and done, I was like, oh, I'm good, like I'm off you, baby. This, like, you're not mine. You clearly didn't have any type of consideration for me, so I'm gone. He basically sent me a text like saying like, even if your family doesn't respect me, I still respect them, and like I'm so sorry, whatever. And then saying like how he'll pay for my transportation to have a conversation with him in person. And I'm like, bro, whole time this man doesn't even drive, so he literally went out extra out of his way to cheat on me. I basically was just like, I'm good, like I don't need to see you, you don't need to see me. And he texted my parents on top of that. And I tell you, everyone's jaw was on the floor when I found this out. My sister, she was like, there's no way. My friends, he met my friends on top of that, so my friends were all like, no way he did this, like that's insane, because he was so like, he's such a good person. I'll stop yapping now. That's what happened, that's the tea. I think I covered everything, and honestly, I'm not gonna say I wish him the best, but I hope that he can live with what he did, take accountability for it, and maybe be a better person. I don't know. I'll just end this video off by saying, make sure you are extra aware of who you are speaking to, because they can meet your family. They can be so integrated in your life and still cheat on you. They could fool everybody in your life and still cheat on you. You could be the best girlfriend ever, they'll still cheat on you. And I learned that because I genuinely thought that this would never happen to me. And they can also lie to you, like that, because the amount of times I asked this man, like, or I was just uneasy about things, and he could have just said, I've been meaning to tell you, this has been happening, this has been going on, instead of me finding out. Because I found out after 3 months. That means he could have kept this information from me for however long he wanted. He probably wouldn't have even told me. So stay safe out here and be extra observant, because these men are not.
Hi there, my name is Keely. I'm 36. I'm dating again for the first time in almost a decade, and I thought I would give you a little bit of an update while I got ready. So I had my approximately third date with this gentleman on Wednesday night. We went out to dinner, we got vegetarian food, we each had exactly one cocktail, which I think is probably the correct number of cocktails to have on an early date. Then after that, we went and got ice cream and we walked around in Manhattan and just chit-chatted for a bit. And it was really, really nice. He walked me to the train. All things considered, it was just a lovely night. I think I'm actually gonna do my hair first and then finish my makeup. Okay, there we go. Hair is dry and I feel like I'm one giant step closer to being ready now. So regarding the date, I had a really nice time, but I am running into something that has been an issue for me before, which is that I'm wondering if what I feel is chemistry or if it's simply connection. I feel really lucky that I am somebody who fosters connection easily. I have a very easy time making friends. I'm naturally very gregarious and I have a great time on early dates, even if I don't end up having chemistry with somebody, just because I like meeting people and talking to people. So after 3 dates, I am left in the same place of being where I was after earlier dates, which is I am just not sure if this is somebody that I just like and I enjoy talking to, or if it's somebody that I could see a future and a long-lasting relationship with. And it's still early days, so I don't feel the need to rush. I'm not putting too much external pressure on myself to figure it out, but that's what's on my mind right now related to that date. So in the meantime, as I'm figuring that out, I am still on Hinge. I'm still matching with people, chatting with people, and I match with this other guy later in the week. And I have a pretty strong preference not to chat with somebody for weeks and weeks or even days and days before I meet up with them, because I do want to quickly get a sense of how they are in person. Even if, as I discussed, I don't always have the best chemistry meter, I still sometimes have gone on dates where I can tell from one side or the other it's just an immediate no. So I matched with this guy and I happened to have the night free. So after we chatted for a little bit, I was like, do you actually just want to meet up tonight, have a quick drink, just have a little check-in and see if we mesh? And he said, you know what the hell, let's do it, let's get together. And I asked him where he was coming from, which neighborhood, and I triangulated a place that I wanted to check out, a cocktail bar that was approximately equidistant for both of us. And I was like, okay, boom, perfect. I made a reservation for the two of us for 8:30. He was like, wow, thanks for making it so easy for me. Absolutely love to be called easy. So we met up and it was a ton of fun. We just could not stop yapping. I did not want the night to end. And one of my friends messaged me and said, hey, I'm in Brooklyn, I'm doing karaoke, you should come by. And this happens to be the same friend that I went out with the other week and did karaoke with and brought the other guy, my other Hinge date. So I asked her, of course, do you mind if I bring the guy that I'm on a first date with to karaoke? And she said, no, the more the merrier. So I did actually 2 weeks running bring different men from Hinge out to karaoke with the same friend group. My friend's fiance was a little bit buzzed up and he really liked the guy that I brought. And he actually crowed very loudly, I love your taste in men. You're bringing the best guys around. Kind of blowing up my spot a little bit there, Alex. My date very much took it in good humor and didn't hold it against me at all. It's not like a move that I intentionally planned, but it was kind of nice to get a sense early on of how he interacts with my friend group. And the answer was very well. We ended the night not too long after that. He called me a car and put me in the car. Chivalry. And then actually the next day he was texting me a lot and he asked if after I was done with work if I wanted to FaceTime for a little bit. So we had a little FaceTime date, which was very cute. I have a fresh boy brow and I'm kind of nervous to use it because I feel like it always looks so intense after I've been using the dregs of the last one. Wow, look how clean she is. Moment of truth. Okay, all right. I can work with that. And so we set up our second date for early next week. And oh no, too much boy brow. I feel like that was foreshadowed in everything. I am not genre savvy. Dang it. My cellar water to the rescue. So anyways, we set up our second date for next week. We'll see how it goes. Once again, still very early days. I'm not putting any pressure on myself. Today has been a much needed friend day for me. I woke up, went to brunch with one friend. We walked around for a little bit. It has been the most beautiful spring New York day. We went to the farmer's market. I said goodbye to him, and then I went and met up with my friend Becca, who is about to move. So I helped her pack up some of her things. We watched a couple episodes of Girls while we did that. And being a good friend pays, because she gave me this cute little pajama set that I'm wearing right now, as well as a bottle of wine and a Taylor Swift record, Folklore, her best one. And now I am getting ready to go out with my friend Allison, and we are going to go dancing tonight and have a little girls' night. Wings off camera per usual, because I can't take the pressure of trying to do it with an audience. As always, they are not sisters, they are not friends, they are actually mortal enemies whose families are locked into a generational blood feud involving a lot of murder. I am gonna go try to put together an outfit, and then I'll be back to show you the final look. Okay, so I did LBD tonight, groundbreaking, I know. In addition to the LBD, I am wearing white cowboy boots that say Yee on one side and Ha on the other. I am going to add this pink scalloped edge purse. It goes with the pink in the boots. I put on a black linen shirt, and then this was my mom's denim jacket in the 90s. When she passed it on to me, it actually came with an original Marlboro Mile still in the pocket. I keep it in there for good luck. This is the actual finished look with purse. I'm going out in Brooklyn, so I feel like I can be a little bit more casual here. Okay, bye for real!
Story time on the time that I got caught sneaking out by my mom. It's gonna be another hoot holler true banger, whatever you fucking will. So we get into it. This was in my 6th grade year, okay? I was doing something else in 6th grade. I tell you. I don't know why I was doing all this bad shit at my little fucking age. Okay, so we get into it. This was maybe like December. No. It was March. It was March. Okay, so my plan was I was gonna be alone. I don't know what the fuck I was doing. I just decided I was like, I want to up and leave this house. So I decided, I was like, okay, so I have door alarms and cameras, okay? So I took off from my front door. I took off the door alarm that, like, I literally took it off the fucking thing. Like, I unstuck it and I put it by the side like it had fallen. So they didn't really notice. But so we were chilling on that, okay? But we had to worry about the cameras next. It was like 2 in the morning. So yeah, my plan was just to hope that they really didn't check the fucking cameras. Because I have a Ring camera, and then I also have a camera that's in my dining room that faces the stairs, and the front door is right here. So it goes like boom, boom, stairs, door. Okay? So I get my shit ready. I'm ready to leave. I got on my sweatshirt. I got on like pajama pants or something. I don't remember. And I had 2, I don't know why the fuck I brought 2 like burnt nicks with me. I don't know why. I felt like a Billy Badass. I felt like a fucking rebel. I don't know. I really don't fucking know. But yeah, so then I was sleeping in the guest room at the time because I don't know, I just stopped liking my room for some. Yeah, so then I had a little video on YouTube playing. I don't remember what. It was probably one of Mr. Beast's long ass fucking videos. I'm pretty sure. And so basically, yeah, so I get my keys. I got my keys, right? So that I don't get locked out the fucking house. I start going, and I go down the stairs, right? And I have 2 dogs. So I get out the house so quietly, and I make it out the house, okay? I make it out the house. So I was like, okay, I'm chilling. And I really had no plan to walk anywhere, so I walked to the fucking Kroger. And I was walking around in the parking lot, and I made a TikTok. And I had screen time during this, by the way. I had screen time. So I used my 1 minute, and I made a whole TikTok. So I walked around the Kroger parking lot. I was just doing random shit. I walked behind the Kroger. I was just exploring around the Kroger. And then, yeah, so then I cross the street, and there's this, like, retention pond thing, you know. It's, like, behind my neighborhood. So then I'm walking down there, because I'm, like, you know, I'm just walking and shit. And I had told my sister that I was sneaking out, obviously. Because my sister, right? And I told her, like, let me know if you hear any, like, noises. I'm walking down the retention pond, right? Like, it's behind my neighborhood. Straight grasses, long grasses, okay? I call my sister. I'm like, okay, like, anything happened yet? And she was like, we were talking for a little bit, and then she just started, like, hearing noises, and I just get hung up on. I was like, okay, maybe she just hung up on me, right? She calls me back. She says, dude, mom just came in my room, like, she said she had a bad feeling about something, and, yeah, she's going to look for you right now. I mean, I obviously put a pillow in that bed that I was sleeping in. I put a pillow in there, you know? It wasn't good enough. I start running, right? Start fucking sprinting to get close to my house, so I didn't want her to think that I was far away from the house. Start fucking sprinting. I will not forget. You know when you're not supposed to be somewhere, and then you start getting, like, you know, like, the phone call vibration shit? Yeah, I start getting that. Where it was, like, 10 times louder, so they were like, boom, boom. Yeah, okay, so basically, I get a call from my mom. And so I'm talking to her. She's like, where are you? And I'm like, I'm by the retention pond. And I start apologizing, obviously, because I was trying to get my ass the fuck out of this predicament. So I'm talking to her, and she's like, okay, I'm coming to pick you up. And I told her I was at my friend's house, which I was.
I was walking past her. I made it out of the retention pond and I was going back into the neighborhood park. So then I told her that's where I was, and she's like, okay, I'm coming to pick you up. And so she comes. I'm still sprinting to get my ass like closer to my house, so I thought it would be like, so I wasn't like far away. You know what I mean? And so she gets to me. So I hop in the car. I also picked up some souvenirs. I picked up, I don't know, I picked up some stuff like from the ground. I found like a Peppa Pig shoe. Yeah, I picked it up for some reason. I still have it. Anyways, back to story. Yeah, so she picks me up. We're talking. And so I'm trying to guilt trip her in any fucking way just to get out of whatever the fuck I just got myself into. And so we all get all the way to my house. And she's talking to me. She's like, why'd you do this? And I was like, oh, like, I just wanted to go somewhere. I didn't want to be in this house. Like that type of thing. And so, I mean, we don't judge. I might have started crying to like guilt trip her. That's really rude. That's really bad of me, but like, I'm not a guilt tripping person. I'm not like, I'm not a bad person. Okay. And so, yeah. Yeah, my dad was also awake, and so I went upstairs and I took my ass to sleep. Obviously, it took me a second to get my heart down because I was like, oh shit, I'm in some fucking trouble. You know why she came upstairs? It's not just something I did. Not because she checked the cameras, the door alarm went off. No, not even my life 360. I had life 360 too. I did not care. And she said that she had a bad feeling. She never comes upstairs. She never comes upstairs normally. Never, like, at night. She said she had a bad feeling, and she went and checked up on us. And I wasn't there. So, moral of the story, mother's intuition is fucking real. It's literally no words. I don't know how. I don't know, 2 and 2 doesn't go together. Like, how you just know something. But intuition is big dang for real.
Every night before I change into my pajamas, I open up my blinds, just to add a little bit of spice into my neighbors' lives. Hey yo neighbors! The show is about to begin!
Hi guys, this is story time on what happened with me and my dad's girlfriend. Sorry for the wait. I've been on vacation and I just haven't had time to make it because I've been around people. So, also I'm really happy because my dad didn't want her to come. And she didn't come. But anyways, let's get into it. The only reason really why I'm doing a story time is because I've gotten a lot of mean comments saying that they need both sides to actually know who was in the wrong and who was in the right, which I don't really think was fair because she's literally yelling at a teenager, and she's like, I don't even know, like 30 something. I don't know. So there's a lot of things that really led up to it. It wasn't just that time, but they always fight like all the time, every single night. And it's not really my dad, it's just kind of her. She has a problem with literally every single little thing. And it just kind of got to a point where like I couldn't do it anymore. Like it just, she's constantly talking about me and saying things that aren't true. Like in the video saying that I harassed her, which was not true. Like I don't just randomly harass people, like, and then that's just, why would I do that? Like there's no reason for that. She was saying how like in the video it says that I made her leave for 6 months because I was harassing her. I was not harassing her, like, at all. So I don't know where she got that from. So I was out with my sister that day, and I don't remember what we were doing, it was like a while ago, and she was saying that I came home and started harassing her, which I might have started harassing her. I don't really know, like, how to explain it, but I kind of just yelled at her. I yelled at her because earlier that day when I was gone, my niece, my brother, and my dad were home. And her and my dad started fighting, which is like a normal thing. And they were overhearing, and she was yelling so loud. And she flipped a table. She said my dad has no time left to live. She demanded money from him. She was talking about me. She's always constantly saying that I act like a princess, which I don't understand why. Like, sorry, me and my dad have a relationship. Like, what do you want me to do about that? So yeah, all that happened in that day, and they recorded it. And when I came home after hearing those videos, I was really, really mad because you don't get to come into my home, tell my dad he has no time left to live and you have a whole life ahead of yourself, and then demand money from him. Like, that was not gonna slide with me. So I called her out, and I'm like, I have the video. It's on my old phone. I'm I probably won't be posting it, but I have it in case I do need it for anything. I don't know. I probably won't post that one just because I don't really know. I don't really feel like that needs to be posted. It was like a little while ago. But that's kind of what led up, and that's why she was saying I was harassing her, which I wasn't really harassing her when you literally started screaming at my dad and flipped our dining room table. It was flipped when I got back. It was still on the freaking floor. Like, and she was trying to say that she didn't do that. I'm like, then why would it be flipped? And then when we were fighting, I called her out and I'm like, you cannot be calling me crazy, because she was calling me psycho. And I was like, you cannot be calling me crazy, and we flipped the table. And I was like, she changed the whole subject about her flipping the table. She was like, well, that's my table. I paid for that, blah, blah, blah. Nobody paid for that. And I was like, but you're literally calling me crazy, but you flipped the table. And then she was just trying to bring up, like, oh, she paid for the table. I'm like, I don't care if you paid for the table, but you flipped it out of anger. Like, that's really immature of you. So that's, like, all that happened. And, I told her that she needs to get the F out of my house. And she was like, oh, do you want to go tell your dad that? After I was on my sister's porch, because I live right next door to my sister. And I was, like, there, because we were just hanging out and everything. And then she was like, oh, you want to tell your dad that? I'm like, no, how about you just shut the F up and blah, blah, blah. And then I walked inside, and I slammed the door. And then she started calling my dad. And I started crying because I was, like, really upset. And I was like, she can't be saying that about my dad. Like, you can't just go in my house and start saying stuff about everyone and then expect to stay there. But guess what? My dad, she's freaking good at manipulating. So, she's still here. Even though that was a long time ago. Okay, I need to speed this up. So, there's been so many other times where we fought. There's times where me and my dad was cleaning out the fridge and she screamed at me. She's cussed me out. She's also, she destroyed my bathroom with my stuff. I'll put it right here. That's what happened. There was a trash bag. There was stuff everywhere. And, yeah, it was bad. My dad said, didn't really defend me in that one. He said that one was my fault, even though I wasn't the one who did that. I woke up and went downstairs to get toilet paper because the upstairs bathroom didn't have any. And then I walked into my bathroom looking like that. But anyways, she said a lot of hurtful things about me ever since I've been here. She has called me a SLUT. She has called me like a bitch and all kinds of stuff. She's saying that I act like a princess, that my dad treats me like a princess, which is, I mean, partially true. I don't even get to spend time with my dad. But yeah. Also, in the video, I was saying how my dad just wanted to come support me. I didn't really say in what. So, I had a wrestling match, and we only had one home wrestling match in the entire season because we were supposed to have two, which was our very first wrestling match, but they had to cancel, so we only had one. All I asked for was them to come to that single one because they didn't come to any of my other ones, not even my tournament, which I did get second place in. And I wanted them to come, and I was like, I told them 2 weeks ahead, and then I told them the week before, and then I told them a few days before. I'm like, hey, I really, really want you guys to come. They all showed up. But right before that, she got mad that I didn't invite her. And then she was like, oh, you didn't invite me. And then she got mad, and all of a sudden everybody became a pervert because she didn't get to go, which didn't make sense to me. Also, I didn't want her to go. I'm embarrassed of her. Like, why would I want her to go? I don't even like her. And the reason why I got so mad is because she called everyone a pervert for wanting to come support me in my match. Like, why can't my family come support me? So apparently everyone that came is a pervert? Like, no one even thought of anybody like that. Like, what are you talking about? Like, and the reason why I called her a petty bitch is because anytime my dad wants to come support me, wants to come spend time with me, spend money on me, which he's allowed to do that because I'm his daughter and, like, we're his kids, and, like, he should be able to do that. Like that's a normal thing parents do, is spend money on their kids, spend time with them, like, go out places and just, like, be with them because, like, it's their kids. any single time me and my dad hang out, she gets mad and she gets all jealous. And I kept calling her petty and she was a bitch and she's jealous because my dad wanted to spend time with me for once. And what really makes me mad is that my dad, all his money, all his time, everything goes to her. My dad never spends time with me because he's always constantly out shopping or with her or at the river with her, just random places with her. And he never spends time with me anymore. Like, ever since she came, my dad just stopped spending time with me. Like, I don't even know, just overall. And, like, it really makes me upset is because after all that, after all this time, everything goes to her, she's still not happy. And the one time my dad wants to come spend time with me, he's a pervert? Like, I really don't understand. Okay, guys, sorry for, like, the cuts and, like, the pauses, like, I mean, just randomly pausing. It's just, like, it's been a little bit, I don't know, I just talk like that. I always talk like that. It's, like, I don't know, it's just something I do. And I rewatched over this, and I'm like, wait, why am I talking like that? Like, why am I every second? Okay, I'm sorry. So all I'm really gonna say right now is that that's, like, mainly what happened, and that's how I just wanted to explain it in the video. Because I'm telling you, this girl is crazy, like, she's psycho. She's done some crazy things, like, to me and, like, my family and everyone. I might do a part 2, maybe, depending on how well this video goes. But I really wanted to really make this because everyone wanted to see both sides. I mean, this is kind of like my side, I guess. I don't really know what's going on in her head. Sorry for not replying to, like, any of the comments. It's just, like, a lot of people have been commenting, and I don't know, I'm just not really able to, like, reply to all of them, but, like, I see all of them, and it means a lot to me, so thank you guys for, like, everything, and being there for me. The one thing I don't like saying, though, is how many people have related to this or have gone through this, because nobody should ever have to go through any of this, and it really disappoints me, like, realizing how many people and how crazy people are in this world. Thank you to all the people that also have reached out to me. It means a lot. And just want to let you guys know, if you guys are ever going through this, you guys can DM me too. I'll always be here for you, anyone. I also just want to let you guys know, even though you, like, already know, I am doing okay. I mean, after that night, it was kind of a lot, and it was, like, very scary, like, just everything in general, but I'm doing okay now, and because I know people have been asking, so thanks for checking in, and I'll try to keep you guys updated. I just haven't been on this account, and yeah, it's just been a lot, and I've been on vacation, so yeah, but that's all I gotta say for now. I might make a part 2, maybe, depending on how well this goes. I think I already said that, but yeah. Thank you guys.
Hear me out. I always used to see those family channels on YouTube, and I'm like, that's so weird. Like, why would you make your kids do that? And then I saw how much they make, and I said,
Yeah, they thought I was a swinger, not a swinger. This is such a good story. Okay, story time about when I used to work at a restaurant, and this couple, they wanted a piece of me. I did not want a piece of them, but they wanted a piece of me. Okay, I have to give a little backstory. So when I was 18, me and my best friend decided to get matching tattoos. Now, during this time, I don't know why it was such a thing, but pineapples, okay? My whole Pinterest was pineapples. My room decor was pineapples. I don't know why, and that's what we agreed on. And I'll show proof. It's right here. Okay, so working at the restaurant, I always had to wear a dress and heels. Now, because of that, everyone could see my tattoo. Okay, so this couple started coming in, like, honestly, like, probably 5 times a week. They were there all the time, especially when I was working. They were there all the time, and they were the couple that would come in right before closing, but no one cared because they would just go to the bar and drink. And then they would always be the last ones to leave, but they knew, like, okay, they're cleaning up, we got a boogie. But they were super cool and nice about it. So they would always sit at the bar, and because it was always close to closing, I'd have to do, like, the napkins and the roll-ups and stupid side jobs, and I always did that by the bar. So I kind of just like started talking to them one day, like being really friendly, because they were right there as I'm doing my side jobs. And plus seeing them all the time, you kind of build that relationship. So I got to know them, found out what they did. He did finance. So think of finance, dude. And then she, muscle mommy. Okay. Like, Bill. She's like, you'd be like, uppies. And she'd like, okay, think of her, right? But still super nice. So one day, me and my best friend decide to go get food from there, and we're waiting in like the bar area for the food, and they just so happen to be there. And so I'm like, I'm obviously gonna say hi. So I go over there, I'm like, hi, how are you? This is my best friend, like, ha ha ha. She's being like super nice, super touchy. Oh my gosh, how are you? Like, you're her friend. And we get our food, we go, and my friend's like, yeah, that's a problem. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Aren't they the nicest? She's like, they want you. I'm like, yeah, of course they do. Like, I'm the best hostess. And she's like, no, they want you. And I was like, I don't know about that. But I kept that in the back of my mind. But I'm like, I don't think so. But then they started bringing me gifts. Like little things. So at one point we had talked about this certain ice cream from Whole Foods. It was like a white rough truffle raspberry, something like that. And they brought me ice cream one night, and I ate it. Okay, I shouldn't have, but I did. And then they got me like a birthday card, and okay, this is weird, but she used to give me gift cards and say like, oh, I found it in one of my old purses. Like, you can see how much is on it. And there'd be like $100 on it. It happened twice, Saks Fifth and Ulta. Kind of weird. Okay, so then one night I'm trying to leave. It's like 11 o'clock. It was just a really busy night. People are still there, and I'm trying to leave. So I'm doing the napkins fast. I'm like, oh, okay, bye guys. And she comes up to me and she's like, can I ask you something? I'm like, yeah, sure. Not trying to be rude, but like I'm trying to like get out of there. And I'll never forget this, because she points. She goes, what does that mean to you? And she's like talking about my tattoo, because she's like, what does that mean to you? And I'm like, I love fruit. I love pineapples. My whole room is pineapple theme. My best friend, the one that you met, she has the same one. Like, I love the fruit. Not knowing that in the swinger community, an upside down pineapple means that you're open. Now, no hate to that community. Like, do what you want. Not for me, but do what you want. And again, mine isn't upside down, but it's still pineapple. So obviously oblivious to the question she's asking me. And then she's like, we should go out to dinner one day. Like, the three of us, we should go out to dinner. And I'm like, dinner? Yes, count me in. Like, I agreed right away, because I was like, who's not going to say yes to dinner? Okay. Then she goes, I actually really, really want to ask you this. Okay. How would you feel about being a third? I'm like, a third? I don't know what the fuck she means. I honestly felt like that scene from Scooby-Doo where he's like, a sacrifice? Like, I was like, a third? Me? I didn't know what that meant. So I was like, okay, what does that mean? Like, I didn't know. Also, bartender was listening the whole time. She's cracking up. Because she knows I don't understand, and she's laughing her ass off, okay? She leaves me, by the way, to deal with this by myself. And so then she breaks it down to me. She's like, well, me and my boyfriend, we are open, and we love when other women join us, and we think you are so cool and so playful. And I'm just like, oh, you mean that? And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And I told her, I was like, I didn't know that that's what you were getting at. I didn't know that. That's when she was the person to break it down to me what the pineapple was. Had no clue. And I explained to her, I was like, I don't do that. I'm sorry if I gave you those vibes, because that's not what I want. I don't want that. And she was really nice about it. She was like, it's okay. Oh, I had to ask. It was eating me up. And now I'm like, oh my God, they were giving me presents, and they were being really nice to me. They wanted to take me out to dinner.
And it finally like clicked in my head, and I got in my car, and the first person I called was my best friend, and I was like, you were right, they wanted my ass, they wanted me. Yeah, and then after that, I didn't see them for the longest time. I think they got awkward about it, which, like, makes sense. I saw them a few more times, and they were cool. They definitely kept their distance. Like, I didn't talk to them as much. I did my side job, like, in the back, not by the bar anymore. And I think they kind of understood, like, it was awkward. But I made sure to not make it awkward. But I'm like, you guys want me? And then me and the bartender talked about it. I told her the whole story, and she was like, how did you not know? And I was like, I don't know. Like, how did I not know? I don't know. And she's like, yeah, from the moment they came in, I could smell it. I'm like, well, I wish I could, but yep, almost ended up with a swinger party.